So I thought this was like a guy who thought drones were following him, and it is. But now he's saying that the government is mind controlling him and everything. So let's jump right in, and I'll show you what I mean.
Just wanted to record this real quick. You can only kind of see them at nighttime. That's a satellite that these things follow me every single night. They flash red and sometimes they make noises at me. Drones.
Which one is it? Is it drones or is it a satellite? We have to know.
That's a drone up in the sky right there. There's another one right there, and another one right there. Oh, there's another one coming right now too. You can see it. I don't know what they are, but they're kind of tiny. They just kind of hover around me all night. They kind of hover around me all night long. So I just wanted to record this, just in case anyone wanted to deny anything. You can see it. It's flashing, and it's moving kind of slowly. It's some type of technology.
I think it's one of those things where you can get on it and it flies you to one place to the other.
You can see how slowly it's moving. It's not, and it makes no sound, by the way. It has no sound. And there's another, oh. Let's just, okay, I'm just looking around to see. Sometimes they come in clearer. They don't get in as close as they used to. They used to get in real close. But you can kind of see it here at night. I had an incident a little while ago where I was staying at a specific place, and it looked like it was abandoned for 10, 20 years. I mean, like no one had gone into the place for a while. I mean, like, it was completely abandoned. It had like full-grown trees growing inside of it. No one was maintaining the property either. 2 days into me staying there, security immediately showed up and kicked me out.
So you lived on the streets for a while? I'm not sure what you're trying to communicate. Yeah, someone owns the property. Yes, they probably have security because of people like you staying in the property when they're not supposed to.
And then they told me that, yeah, we walk through the building every single day and all this other stuff, and they're full-grown trees inside of the facility. So I was trying to figure out what are you trying to protect, and no one had done literally the lawn had full-grown bushes that hadn't been cleaned, manicured, cut. Within 2 days, security had shown up and kicked me out, and of course initiated an attack. And then my other pair of glasses got burnt in a fire that they set when I was in Los Angeles. Anyway, so I can't really see exactly the detail, but I can tell that they're there. Anyway, so in that facility, it was abandoned, and they had security come and all sorts of other stuff.
Guys, this is the point where he does a complete 180-degree turn from crazy to insanely he needs meds. Please get some crazy. So let's continue the video.
This is during the mind control when they were trying to convince me to eat. They were constantly trying to convince me to go into the mountains. They kept saying, you need to go into the mountains. You need to go into the mountains. You need to get away from everything. Otherwise, we're going to attack you. I mean, we're attacking you so much. Wouldn't it be a good idea just to go into the mountains, go sit inside the mountain for a while? Maybe there's something underground. And they were trying to convince me that there's a princess and all sorts of other stuff that might come and help me. And, there's an underground resistance. And good luck, and you might be able to find them. And so they were trying to put me on this quest and stuff.
I'd buy that video game. I would buy that so quick. That's a $64 game idea right there, buddy.
And so during that, and there's no such thing as time, but when that was happening, they were trying to convince me to become a vegetarian and eat plants. And believe it or not, I fell for it for a little bit. Unfortunately, oh yeah, and so the security came, I left, and I went away, and then I came back a little while after that, and they had been tracking me and tracking me and tracking me, and apparently something had really upset them about um, about me going into that facility. I don't know why, but something had really upset them about me going into the facility, and so I went back to the facility, and they were like angry. Like, one of the things that they do is they try to put you in fear of going and doing things. And they were putting me in a lot of fear back then. And so one of the they knew, because of the mind control, they knew that I was going to go back into the facility because it was a safe place. It was at night, and so and so I knew it was a safe place. It was warm, and it was a place where I knew that I probably would be able to get a good night's sleep. Anyway, so I get back to that facility, and I stay there overnight. I light a fire, and it's nice and comfortable. I mean, not super comfortable, but it was better than nothing. Because one of the things that they like to do is have me sleep near someone, so that, especially when I was at the beach, there'd always be one of their agents that show up and attack me while I'm sleeping. They try to get into my dreams, try to convince me of different things. I don't know how.
I get it. That's how you're batshit crazy, because they went inside your dreams and fucked you all up. Makes perfect sense, man.
I mean, like, it's like super creepy shit. I'm not saying that any of those things really exist, but that's kind of like what I deal with, that type of creepiness. That strangeness, high strangeness. Anyway, so right now they're even telling me to shut up and all this other stuff. It's just like completely insane.
I agree with you. You are insane.
Anyway, so I go back to the facility, and I'm there that night. I light a fire. I'm nice and comfortable, and this is during their campaign of trying to get me to eat eat leaves, like literally eat plant leaves and stuff like that. They're like, oh, you need to build up an immunity and all this other stuff. You never know what might happen, because if you live in the mountains, you're not going to be able to grow your food. You're going to have to eat off the land and stuff like that. Horrible shit. Anyway, so I fell for it, and they were like these type of plant, and some stuff you shouldn't be eating, because I ate some of these plants and I hadn't had anything to eat, and I ate some of these plants. I woke up and in the morning sick, really sick, and it was really funny because security was there already as soon as I woke up, and so they had a plan of attack. And as soon as I got out, and it wasn't the normal security, this one was very aggressive. They're like, we gonna lock you up. Then basically it was a Hispanic guy and a white guy. The Hispanic guy told me, if you don't run right now, I'm gonna get you. And I didn't know if he had a gun or what. He was like, you're trespassing, and they're really upset and angry, and started chasing after me. But before they had done that, they had hit me with something. There's something that they had inserted into me. And
So, did they probe you in the buttocks?
I'm guessing they knew about because they've been following me. They knew what type of plants I had been eating. And so it was a paralytic. It was some type of paralyzing, it helped to initiate a paralyzing agent. And so by the time, and me running forced my heart to beat harder and the blood to circulate in my system, and it caused some type of respiratory issue as well.
You might have asthma. You might need to get an inhaler for that. Dude, take care of yourself. I'm starting to worry about this guy. He needs to be on meds.
They've done this before, where basically trying to kill you by asphyxiation from overexertion, which I've experienced several times. I don't know how they do it, but they did it. And so I ran, and I got to the train tracks, and all of a sudden I fall asleep, because all of a sudden I'm exhausted. I can barely move. I fall asleep, and when I wake up, I'm paralyzed. The only thing I can do is move my neck and my mouth and my eyes. My legs are paralyzed. My arms are paralyzed. My fingers, my toes, everything. And guess what starts happening? I start puking all over myself and for about 5-10 minutes die like 8 times.
Okay, if there's a doctor in my YouTube channel that's watching all my shit, please tell me what happened to this man. I want to know personally. I feel so sorry for this guy. However, he does make for some good content.
I don't know how many. I didn't die, but it was like in between life and death. I literally could not even breathe because I was puking. Like, like say you're drunk, you're paralyzed. I was paralyzed, so I couldn't move my. I could barely move my head. So I couldn't even move my head. And guess what flies over top of me, but literally at an arm's length away? About 12 little tiny, mini little lights that look like drones. Little tiny lights. Like, if you read some books about the Nazis and stuff like that, they some of the books call them Foo Fighters. They're like these little tiny lights. And they're just talking shit to me and like all sorts of stuff and trying to break me and basically making fun that I'm dying. And I think I went out a couple of times. Like it was literally like torture. It was torture by suffocation. And I couldn't move, and so like every breath I took, I didn't know if I was going out or not. And at one point, I was like, can I please just die? That's how bad it was. Anyway, so when I see these drones, it reminds me of that moment, those minutes. And then so I proceeded to be paralyzed for the next day. And I sat on the train tracks frozen in pain and torture. This happened. No lie. And I called out, not one. And I saw people by the train tracks too. Outside the train tracks. And I called and I said, please, someone help me. Not one person came and helped me. Not one. So that's what I think about y'all. I know the truth.
Okay, so that's the ending to the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was actually pretty fun to make this time around because he's out of it. So, hope you guys have a good day like always, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.